Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Untitled Game Channel. I'm AJ Gels. Guys, we are back with Pyre. Last video, our good buddy Hedwin, we earned his freedom, but we're still stuck here in the downside. So, all that, we're just kind of biding our time till the next cycle of rights. But for now, we're going to talk to Volfred. You find Volfred seemingly lost in thought, but then he turns to you. Greetings, reader. This wagon and I weave many memories together, and I could not help reliving some of them just now. I suppose some aspects of my past may be of relevance to you, given your role. If there is something that you wish to know, you need but ask. Volfred invites you to inquire about his past. Ask what he did to earn his sentence. Volfred reminds you of someone you heard about long ago in the Commonwealth. The triumvirate of which you are now a part seems to have a storied history. That's why the Nightwings disbanded. Asked how he knows the lone minstrel. The two of them seem to be old acquaintances. How long have they known one another? Asked to be. There is no need to talk. Take up more of Volfred's valuable time right now. Let's ask him what he did to earn the sentence. You asked Volfred about his past in the Commonwealth and how it is he came to be in the downside. How rather forward of you, my boy. Most whom I have met during my travels here have been reluctant to approach the subject of one's history before one's exile. Nonetheless, I am happy to tell you. As a reader, I assume you are familiar with the stamping press. I owned and operated one. Stamping press, an illegal invention allowing written materials to be published at an extraordinary rate. In 617 AS, Commonwealth was under siege from within. The anti-theocratic propaganda quickly spread. Okay, so it's basically this world's version of the printing press. I took issue with the Commonwealth, the ban on literacy, the interminable wars against the high-wing remnants. I spread the truth about it all with my machine, under pseudonym, of course. Still, I knew I was putting myself at risk, and sure enough, my stamping press was eventually discovered and burned to the ground. I, however, managed to elude capture for a while, but not for long enough. Here in the downside, I chanced upon the Nightwings, who were searching for a reader. In that respect, my past, I think, is similar to yours. Anyway, that is the long and short of it. Now then, was there anything else? So that's why the Nightwings disbanded. You express interest in knowing more of how the Nightwings came to be and Volfred's past connections to the group. I've been connected to the Nightwings almost since the beginning of my days in exile. They found me in a manner, as I understand, quite like how Hedwin and the others found you. Back then it was a smaller group than we have now. I joined an exile called Arissa and another called Aurelek. Arissa, former exile of the Nightwings, who conducted the rites alongside Volfred, and Aurelek, former blah blah blah, pretty much the same thing. Once in a while, we let little Tizo stand with us as well. He is rather older than he looks. The other triumvirates we stood against, they feared us. Only the Tempers presented any threat to us in any given right. But there was a terrible accident. Arissa, we lost her. And Aurelek, he was my friend. He fell from Mount Aladiel. We lost him as well. On the nights when he was to be free. We were reckless, hasty, and I was powerless to stop any of it. I blamed the rights themselves, the circumstances that put us into danger. The downside has claimed many lives, yet it was too much. I vowed never again to don the mask and raiments. I had the black wagon cleared and buried, such that it could not be used again. If the Nightwings would rise again, it would be under different circumstances, under new leadership, and towards a different purpose. That is all I wish to say on this, my boy. Now, let's ask him about the Lone Minstrel. You asked Volfred about his history with the Lone Minstrel, whom he seems to know quite well. Tariq was there with the Nightwings when they took me on. His manner has always been much as how you've seen. Although he is somewhat more cheerful now than I recall back then, if you can believe that. I think our plan has sparked a little fire in him. He serves the rights and the Nightwings. I've tried to ask him of his past before, but he seems rather reluctant to speak of it. Though it is plain that he's not from around here, this being the downside, I respect his wishes. for some privacy. Nonetheless, although I do not know much of him, I count him as a friend. I lost track of him for some time, though it was he who first informed me that the Nightwings had returned. He and Tiso were instrumental in our meeting. It's been good to see him doing relatively well. Anyway, was there anything else you wish to talk about for now? I think that's about it. Thank Volfred for his time and bid him a good rest of the afternoon. Likewise to you, reader. Be well. Man, my voice sounds weird to me. I don't know what's going on. And by the time, hold up with your companions until the stars align once more. Everyone, the amenities are modest here at Moonlight Alcove, but I suggest that you get comfortable. We may be here for some time. As for myself, I have some business to attend to. Please leave the wagon in my care for now. It shall be ready when you need it next. From the mountaintop, you can see all across the downside. It's impossible. Expands staring back at you. The thought occurs to you that you may never see another land besides it. And so you and your companions wait upon the mountaintop in quiet solitude, anticipating when the cycle of rites begin to turn again. Then you shall have another opportunity to free one of your own. You may earn back their freedom one by one. Many moons pass. Then, one evening. May I have a moment, reader? The lone minstrel finds you poring over the Book of Rites, and as has been you're learning through your stay at this abode. Okay, that sentence doesn't. Whatever. Begging your pardon, but there's something you may wish to see. Please follow me. You follow him into the cold night. Look forth, reader. The stars shine like you have never seen. Once more, the path towards salvation is revealed. But now, something is different. The stars shine once more. Seek now your destination. Each prior time you searched the stars, they showed you a single path, but now several rites avail themselves to you at once. Henceforth, you may choose from several different rites. Choose your path towards salvation. Alright. Salim, the golden star. The golden star is faint to the fall. You are not permitted to conduct the rite next right here. Okay. So basically, I can kind of choose which one I want to go do. Alright. Well then. Lu, the vernal star. The vernal star is faint over the glade of Lu. Oh, can't conduct the next rite. There. Alright. So we have Silver Star. Or Triesta, the Silver Star. The Silver Star burns bright over the nest of Triesta. Barker is already on his way. Okay. Interact to challenge the dissidents. Here next, the dissidents are led by the Cur. Barker Ashpaw is your record against them is 1-0. I kind of like how this is like a pseudo sports game, and it's in a very odd way. I cannot read right now. I was doing really well in the last video. Am I only allowed to conduct that one? Alright, there we go. Haub, the Midnight Star. The Midnight Star burns bright over the cairn of Haub. Dalbert is already on his way there. Interact to challenge the fate there. The fate is led by the Cur. The fate are led by the Cur Dalbert. Old Heart, your record against them is also 1-0. Gaul, the South Star. The South Star burns bright over the ridge of Gaul. Unmilde is already on her way. Interact to challenge the Withdrawn here. Okay. Let's see. You know what? Let's go. Let's go take on Barker. The stars urge we go to the nest of Triesta, a long way off. Volfred, sir, how are we to reach the nest of Triesta in due course of time? You know full well, Tariq. Preparations are complete. You think you see the lone minstrel smile, ever faintly, but cannot be sure. Please ask the others to gather their belongings, rest, and then assemble at the wagon. There at dawn, we shall be departing at that time. As you will, sir. The cycle begins anew. As the years advance, you'll find there ought be fewer rites, this time until once more we are to traverse Scribe's Gate. Exactly how many... Sorry. It is difficult to say, but our next chance at liberty ought present itself much sooner than before, so let's be ready for it. Now then, see you in the morning, reader. Jeez, sorry. Your companions have not traveled far from Moonlight Alcove. Word of the news soon spreads throughout the group. Let's continue our journey. Next morning, Volfred calls everyone together before the black wagon. This old wagon is more than it appears. With Bertrude's aid, it escorted you across the sea to me. Now, it shall escort us anywhere the stars require. Come and see. Volfred beckons you to join him in the wagon. Step inside. Something has changed about the wagon's interior. What looked before to be old cracks and sign of age now expose various intricate components once hidden from view. You are the Nightwings. You should travel in their customary way. He turns to you, indicating levers and devices marked with symbols from the book. Now, reader, whenever you are ready, you may take us up. I'll show you how. And everyone else, hang on to something. Small landing. Oh, that's cool. After having soared into the sky, the black wagon remains aloft somehow. By the Underking! Never thought I'd soar like this again. Impossible. The Nightwings sail the skies again, wheresoever the stars may call for them. There is one catch. The downside provides few locales suitable for landing, though we should be able to find at least a couple landing places near to where we're going. We'll then make way by land or sea toward our destination. Now, without further ado, let us proceed. The black wagon can fly. Seek landing near the nest of Trista. Sail now the skies. This is weird. The high road, the nest of Trista is patrolled by the Commonwealth's ancient enemies. You sense that Pamitha may gain a deeper understanding of the rights along this route. And Blackshore. Low road to the nest of trees to pass through razor-sharp sand. Sir Gilman suspects you may find something of value. Well, though I do like it, I do want to boost Pamitha's understanding of the rights. Your wagon touches down in Black Basin, where you first met Volfred and Pamitha as well. You briefly wonder at what might have happened had your paths not crossed. A full inspection of the wagon is already underway by the time you join the rest of the group. Jadariel takes care to realign each set of stabilizers, needing little help from you. Meanwhile, Shay greases any intakes that sealed shut during the flight. You soon run into Volfred, who has further details to report. Systems are nominal. This wagon's fit for journey onwards at dawn's light. The group disperses, then some taking time for rest, while others tend to personal pursuits. You should have time enough to do the same. So, vocations, I'm assuming. Ooh, the Beyonder Crystal seeks Sir Gilman. Flagrant. That's cool. Sir Gilman shivering there after the black wagon's maiden voyage through the skies. Oh yeah, he hates heights, doesn't he? Master Reader, this knight is very, very slightly out of sorts is all. He merely appears terrified, but he assures you that his seeming cowardice is but an optical illusion in this case. Pamitha overhears and joins you. Flying's not for everyone, Sir Knight. This knight heartily this knight heartily concurs, though how anyone at all can stand it, he has yet to understand. Well, let's see. What's it like to swim in the waters of the Sea Dominion? Ah, those glorious murky waters, engulfed in hideous warfare to be sure, but otherwise a joy to cut across, to feel the coolness of the waves beneath one's gill slits, and the like. Though this knight is now accustomed to his life above the surface. Flying's just the same, Sir Knight. It resists those of us not born to it. I, in turn, have wondered what your seas are like, but the thought of swimming fills me with disgust. Though I haven't had to swim and you now have to fly, that's very brave of you, and you handled it better than some harp fledglings I've met in my day. You'll get used to it. She departs, but you sense Gilman is feeling better after the exchange. Gilman gained +1 hope for the next rite. Alright. Book of Rites. Let's see here. Living in exile. Once I too roamed free. I remember well those days in which I was called chief. I traveled all the world over on my 4 good paws, and I was well adored. I wanted to grow stronger. Here at least I shall not mince my words. This place shall either harden you or kill you. It shall haunt you with old memories. You share the exile's plight. My charge is to alleviate the sting of it for you a little bit and to prolong your stay, but only for as long as needed. Your charge is to return. We call this place the downside for a reason, but in time, here you can learn to eat, to seek out shelter, and to find a certain beauty in unlikely places. Living in exiles, in the words of Jamur Manymane, the Alpha Chief. Here, Forsaken Lands, in the words of Molten Melethe, the Wild Witch. Years upon long we spent distilling life essence from many things, which all once arrived under the auspices of their morality, which we ourselves cut short. In this we have no regrets, for we learned much, and so we think did they. We earned the title Witch, and were forced to flee into the downside. Here we encountered Saliam Moore, and soon we gained an understanding of each other. He bade us circumnavigate these lands and catalog our findings. We felt a strong desire to expose the secrets of this land. He wished to yield benefit to those who followed in our wake. Indulge us both then. What? That one has... God. So many pages. Alright. The continent we called Black Basin shall one day tear itself apart, arriving upon blackened molten crags, tolerable only by the harp Triesta. We pressed onward towards a suffocating wood. This land felt to us somehow primordial. Deep in its roots and noxious crevices lay innumerable clues as to its ancient history. But we had a little time to excavate, for our supplies by then were thin. Further we were lost. Our best attempts at circumnavigation all had failed. It was Luce Glorian who reached out at last unto the stars, and they revealed the way. Then we at last could see the sacred mountain Alagiel in the distance. Gaining the summit of the sacred mountain Alagiel involved no small amount of sacrifice and sorcery in varying proportions. The mountain's energies were palpable, the sensation that we felt indescribable. The lands we stood upon were closer to the stars than the world we knew. It was upon this highest point in all the downside that we first made efforts to concoct this tome, which you now read. It was there that we were stricken with a vision of the cycle of the rites and felt together for the first time a sense of freedom unlike any we experienced before. but that is a subject which our comrades shall illuminate in greater detail. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out why that thing is still glowing. Oh, it's because it's the one I'm on. Okay, I got it now. I see. Celestial landmarks. In the words of Luz Glorian, 100 Minds, the scholar. Do you feel a kinship with the stars? You owe your everything to them. Perhaps one day, even your freedom. I traced the stars across the river of my genealogy until they led me here. I demanded they explain to me the paradox of knowledge, or how is that something can be shared, but still contained within ourselves in its entirety. The stars did not respond, but set me on a quest. I sought the 9 landmarks which they revealed to me, so that someday I would reveal their mysteries to you. These landmarks, emissaries of the stars, are 9 lenses through which we see the land and see ourselves in a new light. 9 triumvirates, in the words of Haub the Swallow, the Accursed. At first, I found it much too difficult to read, much less to write, even to grasp the quill. But the Horned One Myrrh implored me. He said that this is the greatest gift that he could give me in return. In return for what? I asked. In return for his life, he said. But I did not save your life, I said. You did, he said. We fought. We fight about this still. Myrrh is stubborn, more than I. Now herein, and by his leave, I chronicle the 9 triumvirates, for I am of this land, unlike the rest, who wish to leave. We knew not everyone could leave who wanted, seldom would the opportunity arise, thus did we organize, those striving for the chance into 9 sets of 3. And finally, on Commonwealth, in the words of Trista Tithys the Blessed Born. Here. We the 8th assembled here together in the downside, and we gave our freedom so that you may yet have yours. It is an exchange we have not lightly made. It is my charge to ensure that should you regain your freedom, first off recognize its qualities and also use it wisely. You do not need a pair of wings in order to be free. My own wings, I once thought that they could take me anywhere, and then they took me here, where I am bound. It is your charge to be free and not to make the same mistakes. Spring from here and learn what we did, and build a new and great society, a free society, which wings spread wide for everyone. Alright, that seems to be all of the book. Beyond a crystal. I can sense you out there, somewhere. What is it that you want? You invoked Sandra. Let's ask her what's on her mind. Ah, my best friend in all the world come to visit me again. Does it make you uncomfortable, perhaps, that I should call you thus? Perhaps you think that you do not yet know me very well, but I know you just fine. You reveal a great deal to me when you come visit me like this. You are not the only one who can sense things in others, you know. She laughs to herself. One learns to read a bit when forced to suddenly appear within a book for 837 years or so, especially if one is wont to pry a little. Spit a little bit after that word. You understand, for it gets rather boring here. I know all about you, a war orphan who longs to regain his freedom, only to end up spending all his time talking to an apparition stuck in a stone. Oh, I know about your loves or lack thereof, about your favorite pastimes, certain habits you may be somewhat loath to admit. Fear not, of course. I use the special knowledge only as a means to entertain myself. I think, and if you don't like it, why just keep your distance, like so many of your predecessors. As for the other Beyonders, they are as wraiths to me, as I must seem to all those idiots with whom you consort. I cannot confide as easily in my own kind as I am able to confide in you. But I suppose that I have said too much. Thank you, as ever, for the visit. You have given me a lot to think about, more than you know. She laughs again softly. To request a scribe trial. Certainly, my reader. You need but indicate who is to be my subject for this round. I believe Gilman is the only one who's ready. You ask Sandra to administer one of her special trials for Sir Gilman. You think that dimwit of a worm has any chance? Perhaps you are correct, though. I put little stock in him myself. Though, let us bring him forth. Soon Sir Gilman appears in heed of the summons. Master Reader, is this knight perchance in trouble for something? The apparition Sandra appears and unfastens her mask. Listen well, worm, you answer to me here. As you will, your highness. Your highness. I like the sound of that. The flattery shall get you nowhere here. Demonstrate your competence to me, then, worm. You shall have to do it mostly on your own, though under the guidance of your lovely reader. I trust you are prepared. Of course, your highness. This knight accepts this challenge. Oh, this is gonna be a little tough. Crap. Crap. Oh, crap. God. I lose. Curses! Laughable, the worm lacks any concept of his foolishness. I would tell you not to waste my time, worm, but the truth is that my time is there for you to waste. Do you think you could do better than that? Yes, we will retell. We'll try again. Another opportunity to shame that idiot worm. Let us get to work. Alright, I'm gonna try and use his speed a little bit more. I'm trying to get too tricky. I think I'm trying too much to use his I can't remember his aura cut move, whatever. I think I'm trying too hard to use that. So I'm gonna try and utilize his speed a little bit more. Oh, crap. That damn thing is way quicker than you think. Back up, regain some stamina. Just need one more score. Crap. Man, I should have a lot less points on my Pyre. That's weird. Oh, crap. I overshot. Oh, because I every time I hit their Pyre, mine gains +5. Okay, that's why. I'm trying to figure it out. Huzzah! This knight prevails. I have no choice but to concur with that statement, Worm. Your performance was sufficient, and you passed my test. Thus, congratulations are in order to you and to your lovely reader. Now, farewell. How to sustain oneself in such a place as this, thus blah 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 blah. More words and tips / lore. Master Reader, this knight is humbled after having passed the sorceress's test. What? By the scales of the Under King Oris! What is that you have? You received Oris' scale for completing Sir Gilman's trial. Let's take a look at what that is. Gilman jumps farther than usual, +30. Ooh. Honestly, that seems like a pretty useful skill. Or a, what do I have on her? Yeah, that seems like a good thing to have on her. Alright. Alright. Having reached the High Wing Cove, you decide to accompany Pamitha for a walk among the harsh formations. Your conversation soon turns to the matter of the rites, which you discuss at length. Most of the time, I think none of this makes any sense, but once in a while, you put it together for me, reader darling. By the time you return to the wagon, you sense she gained a deeper understanding of it all. Your time together with Pamitha caused Pamitha to gain enlightenment. There we go. God, come on. Probably use her in this next rite and just so I can get that, finally hit that last little bit. Let's continue our journey. Up to the nest and duke it out with Barker. Hey guys, come on and say now whatever happened to that slimy headwind guy. Did he really get out of here like I've been hearing, or what? Alright, let's see here. So I'm gonna sell this thing back, man. That is a... I'm just gonna kind of buy up all the stardust. Honestly, yeah, I don't need this. Alright. I think that's good. And that's how you get repeat customers there, Dad. You give them a deal. So, looks like Pamela wants to talk to us, but real quick. I have been messing around trying to upgrade her talisman rank. Oh wow, that's gonna get me +3 ranks. Give it to Rookie. See, I just need one more bit of those, and I can get a. There's a trophy for getting a talisman up to rank 20. I promise. What I've been doing. There's a reason to it. It's not. I'm just not completely insane. Well, I am, but you know, that's not surprising. See here. We found each other. We found each of the others in due time, by fate, not by coincidence. The wise Luce Glorian stood among the trees, gazing at the stars, expecting us. The wild witch Melete was so enthralled by my liege's utter transformation, she stayed her sorceries. Blessed born trees to swoop down upon us, but to warn of imminent attack, the many-maned Jamur thus intervened and shared with us his humor and his hunt. Even the Underking Oris himself sought out an audience with us. Thus we became the Eights and journeyed on together. And there's another one in here. The Nest of Trista. The ashen effigy of the nightmare titan Zilvius horse-headed looms as dark as ever in the precipice of Black Basin, where her chaotic influence sundered the land itself until it wept with fire. The very instant that our graceful friend Trista, Tithys finally laid to rest the greater Titan with the power of the holy scepter of the Empire, the stars shone down upon us all with blinding light. Trista thought that she could bear her children in the warmth there, but alas. Now the stars revisit the locale with regularity. The fissures in the rock do pose more danger than one ought invite, but a summons to the nest is to be honored. Yes, Pamela wants to talk to us. You find Pamela by herself again, though her expression is grown darker than her custom. Leave me be, would you, reader, darling? Trying to get some good and proper moping done here, and you're distracting me. Leave me be. Leave me be, reader. Just leave me be, reader. Just leave me be. You don't want to know what's lurking in my heart and mind. What you'll find there isn't pretty. Yet something about her thought process is different to you now. You know that with her conditioning she can resist your scrutiny, but now her thoughts are laid bare to you. Pamela is alone with her thoughts. Let's see what she's thinking. Pamela seems to be inviting you into her thoughts. You remain there in the lonesome space with her. What is it going to take, I wonder, Tamitha? Shall I just go ahead and kill them all? That would be proof enough, perhaps, about my loyalties to you and our sisters. Perhaps I ought to start with this one right in front of me. The bond between you severs as Pamela opens her eyes and stares at you. Then she smiles sweetly and gives a gentle laugh. You see, reader, darling, my thoughts are rather cumbersome at times. But do not fear, I have them very well under control. Still, thoughts being the loathsome things they are, I nonetheless cannot fully suppress them. She exhales and looks askance. You know by now why I am in this mess with all of you. You could say I lack Tamitha's sense of commitment, her zeal. She lives only to see your nation overthrown, or something worse. If she could have her way, centuries of conflict can be quite emboldening that way, especially with one's sisters leading the cause of death and Commonwealth forged steel. With the utmost mercy, of course. Well, I had little patience for the senselessness of it myself. Became a bit of a pariah, I suppose. I knew Tamitha was going to get herself and the others killed someday, so when she was to fly out on this one big mission of hers, I had other arrangements made. But after she was caught, your people did not exactly uphold their end of the bargain. I knew there were such risks, of course, and yet, a chance is still a chance. Tamitha was clipped and cast down, a mercy they called it. I did not see it that way, and in my growing protest of her treatment, I was soon enough to follow. She falls silent for a while. I haven't decided if I entirely regret my actions. But I do seek Tamitha's forgiveness and wish that she could see my thoughts for what they are, as it seems you can. Then she might realize our nation's people have much more in common than she knows. Sometimes I wonder which of them's the stupider. She brushes past you and out of the wagon for now. Yeah, I was about to say, does that upgrade her bio then? Cool. Astroside Verdun. She was born on the 31st of 8th moon, suggesting she is practical and easygoing. One's astral sign often foretells the disposition, strengths, and idiosyncrasies. Convicted for conspiracy, she made repeated attempts to make contact with the enemy combatants taken into custody. As mercy guides our hand, we spare our lives, but rid ourselves of you. From the sentencing ceremony, insurrection, that was motive. The records state she remained loyal to the High Wing remnants despite claims to the contrary. In the downside, one's past tends not to be subject for discussion. And 4 years in exile. Tamitha has survived for 4 years in the downside thus far. It is a life sentence. Some withstand the downside for no longer than a day or two, while others last for many, many years. Okay, so we don't have anyone else's, but we have... at least we know a little bit more about her. Let's commence the rite. As the sky grows dark over the nest of Triesta, a hush falls over your companions, especially Dookie. You sense something is troubling him, something to do with your next adversaries. Oh, hey chum, just want to let you know I'm pumped and ready to take on the dissidents this time. Sure am, alright? That Barker, he's not so scary once you get to know him like I do, you know? So don't you worry, because I sure won't be going easy on him after last time. As Dookie marches off towards the clearing, you notice his grin fade away. In the distance, you hear the dissidents begin to hoot and howl.
Ever persevering, aren't we? Well then, rejoice, because the cycle of the rites begins anew. Perhaps you'll liberate another soon enough. Your chosen adversaries here shall be the dissidents. Reduce their flame to ash, just as you did when last you met. Now, who exactly shall oppose them?
Oi, mates! Look at we have here, Greentail, is that you? Yeah, Barker, it's me, alright. Well, I'll be. So tell me something then, Greentail. You gonna go against me this time, or keep on being a stinking coward like before, huh? What do I do? 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 Wait! He says he wants to fight? If you can beat him, maybe. Maybe he'll leave us alone. He'll leave the Greentails alone. I can make it worth his while. Barker, what is it, mate? The rite's about to start. Well, I was just thinking. I know I owe you and everything, but I've got a deal for you. You like a good deal, don't you? I like a good laugh's more like it, but I'll bite, Greentail. What's your fancy here? I was thinking, if I can beat you here, we're squared away. You let me off the hook. Huh? I see. But tell me something, mate. Now why in this stinking world would I want to do a thing like that? What's in it for me when I beat you instead? Then I'll pay you double what I owe. I promise. But you have to promise too. Curse oath. Oh, really now? Double or nothing then, is it? Aye? You drive a hard bargain there, mate, but... Alright, it's a deal. You beat me, and my me and my pack right here, right now, and you're debt free as far as I'm concerned. Of course, if you don't, I'll be fleeching you for all you're worth. You and your stupid uncles and your dear old mum of yours. See you shortly then. Ruki then turns to you. Hey, so this one means a lot to me, you understand there, chum? Let me go against these guys and I'll make sure we show them up, okay? Alright, so it's just gonna... Wow, man, one of those has a massive presence. By the by there, mate, my pack and I, we've got a few new tricks we're dying to show you real soon. You sense Barker speaks the truth, the Dissidents are more capable than before. Each time you face a triumphant, they gain talismans and masteries. Do not underestimate them.
Who shall conduct the rites?
Well, Ruki says he can handle it, so let's
Ruki.
send him out. Yeah, I think Pamitha is going to be useful in this area. I'm thinking, who do I want? Okay, so she can't go with Pamitha. Feeling like going with speed. Just because well, no, but I think Tizo is probably the smarter choice because he can flutter. So we'll go with Tizo.
Now.
Tizo is ready to help Ruki defeat Barker and the Dissidents. Alright then, Greentail, bring it on, or it's your old mum who's gonna pay.
Begin. Tis taken. Your adversary's Pyre is the first to falter. Ruki plunged into their Pyre. The flames of freedom.
What's the matter, Greentail? Methinks you seem a little nervous on your paws out there. Just shut up already, Barker. Let's get on with it. What's that you say, huh? You think you can talk back to me like that, Greentail? You heard me, Barker. Stay out of my damn way. Or what, mate? Or I'll sink these little nervous teeth into your neck, old chum.
That foolish Barker was a menace to the Commonwealth and is a blight upon the rights.
Crap, I missed.
The orb is up. Ruki plunged into their Pyre.
Alright, 25, so I need to hit him twice more. Crap. Oh, crap.
Foul for the Nightwings. Who? Ouch. Unfortunate.
I missed.
A mere attempt. Now to the flame. You left yourselves wide open. The orb!
That was a nice move with that pass.
The orb is up. The orb engulfed in fire. No more than a lick of flame remains.
Oh, come on, come on. I should have scored on that one.
And it is done. The Nightwings prevail again. The scribes themselves surely have taken note. The rite is ended.
Woohoo! We did it. We got him. Green tail, you got us fair and square, mate. As fair and square as this stuff gets, right? So my family, you'll leave them alone. You said you'd leave them alone. Ease off there, Green Tail. A deal's a deal. Now then, me and my pack had better step it up for when we see you and your mates again. I'll be looking forward. Dookie watches him depart, then turns to you as his expression softens. Don't know what to tell you, chump, other than I really owe you one.
Bask now in the wisdom of the scribes. If only wings could speed us on toward greater...
All in all, having to unlearn everything I've learned is going to be somewhat faster than expected. Alright, let's see here. We need to get for 5 seconds after banishing the enemy, she moves 30% faster. Or after saluting your adversaries, Pamela instantly switches places with her nearest ally. Ooh. Pamela can use her dash ability in rapid succession for less stamina. I mean, that seems useful. But I think the dash is going to be of more of this better use.
Stars align.
You return to the wagon after you and your fellow exiles vanquish the dissidents and find Volfred waiting for you there. Well done back there, my boy. You are serving your companions well. Now then, I have something that I wish to share with you, if you've a moment. We have discussed the plan of which we're all part of. I have a means of measuring our progress towards the goal of it. I'd like you to have a look at it. First, let's determine where the rites may take us next. Look forth, I expect you shall see again several shining stars, where once you saw but one. You gaze again into the darkness of the night. The scribe stars beckon. Several shining stars, a trick of the eye, or the will of the scribes, who can say? I too once gained the newfound vision many years ago, following my first liberation rite, and I believe only we of the Nightwings have this gift. I realize that in choosing whom the Nightwings confront in each rite, we in turn influence which triumvirate we face when the time comes for someone to be set free. The object I invite you to use contains further details. Henceforth, you may use Volfred's planner to see your current progress. Oh, this is cool. Using Volfred's planner, you may assess your progress towards the ultimate goal, as well as check the current standings of your adversaries. Volfred shall keep this information up to date in the reminder of your quest. You may look over it now, or anytime in the Black Wagon, or while searching the stars. Oh, this is cool. Fate recently rose. Measure the current standing. The rights of fate. The triumvirate with the highest favor is poised to take on the Nightwings' next liberation rite. Oh, that's interesting. So they're down because they lost to us. Probably. Prideful at having prevailed more than all triumvirates combined. Their righteous traditions have given way ruthlessness and spite. It's the accusers, the dissidents, who we just beat, chaotic firebrands, unconcerned about what is at stake in all of this. Pyre hearts, once known for their spirit and bravery, now craven laughingstock. Let's see here. The withdrawn defilers of the rites, who forsaken the scribes for a profane monster. The essences, prisoners of war whose hatred for the Commonwealth runs deep. Corrupted opportunists who mean to use the rites for selfish gain. That's chastity. And right now it looks like we're taking on fate. They claim to the belief that the scribes are watching over them. They're foreign victories and defeats, and 0-1 against us. Alright, this is really interesting. Okay, so we just did this one. Right. So we take on them. Alright. Okay, so they're all kind of around the same area. I really probably wouldn't want to face the withdrawn when it comes to the liberation, right? So let's take on the withdrawn. Try and knock them down. I hope that's how this works. I'm taking complete shots in the dark. You are set to re-encounter the withdrawn, led by the witch Udmilde. However outlandish her intentions seem, one ought beware of her. He then reveals what he has learned of her and her designs. Witch Udmilde, one of the bog dwellers and head of the withdrawn, a triumvirate more interested in legends of Yislak, the astral born, than in the rites. Her kind was known to be reclusive in the Commonwealth, yet she was brazen in her disdain for common values. She practiced the unspeakable. Somehow one day, her research into flammable reagents grew into an obsession with Yislak, despite widely held beliefs that he is dead or never did exist. But Unmilde held that Yislak is merely dormant and shall someday be reborn with newfound hunger, which could only be sated by devouring the world. Then at last could Yislak return to his glorious home, and Unmilde would go with him. When Commonwealth officials showed up to take Unmilde in for spreading unrest, she was all too eager to comply. After all, the sentence to the downside meant being that much closer to Yislak's resting place, where she believed she had much work to do, where the withdrawn stood ready to assist. In short, the ex-scribes certainly would not approve of what she aims to do, so be careful in her presence, reader, and for now, good night. You bid the lone minstrel a restful night in kind. It is too late to take flight, so you expect to press onward come daylight. Now you talk to our buddy Rookie in a second. Alright, let's see here. This is the words of Haub the Swallow, the accursed. I myself, Haub, did form the dissidents under the simple tenet, those who do not belong, belong. The other scribes, some of them showed at first reluctance to allow an imp, and one accursed, to designate one of the 9 triumvirates, but Mur, the horned one, stubborn as he was, stood by my side. In time they came to understand, for I remained as ever at their side, a living bit of proof of their absurdity. The dissidents are an extension of my oddity, those who do not adhere. They are not to be discarded, underestimated, or dismissed. They are as necessary as those against whom they rebel. Let's talk to our buddy. As you approach Dookie, you sense none of his usual anxious energy. I'm free. Then he rushes up to you in a return to form. I mean, I know I'm not. I'm stuck down here with the rest of you. It's just, it's like I finally get to set aside this giant bag of rocks I've been carrying around. Know what I mean? Wanted to say thanks, chum, for giving me a hand with that little situation between myself and Barker. I don't think I would have had it. I don't think I would have had it in me to stand up to him unless I knew you and the others had my back. Now, at least old Mama Greentail won't get in any trouble from him on the other side. She's still waiting for a rookie boy to come on home, but at least she won't be getting hassled by a bunch of nasty curs just because I struck a lousy deal. So yeah, chum, you ever need something, I owe you one. And then some. Cur's oath. He prances out of the wagon, a newfound lightness in his step. Rookie gained +2 hope permanently. Wish him well. I really like this planner thing. This is a really interesting thing. Guys, we will continue our journey in the next one. We've already run pretty long. Sorry about that. I just got caught up in stuff. So thanks so much for watching. As always, Facebook, Twitter, the website, and Minds.com. Links to all those are down in the description below. Like, comment if you're not already. Please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more next time, guys. But until then, I'm AJ Gales, the CM3 Gaming Channel. I'm out.